Hey, welcome back to Mind, Body, Soul Evolution. And for this next video, if you've seen the title, then you know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about how I feel about the way the concept of neutrality has been used increasingly by so-called spiritual people in these so-called spiritual communities. That's right. Uh, as far as how some people are choosing to interpret and apply the concept of neutrality nowadays, um, and how it's amounting to no more than turning a blind eye to the injustices going on in the world today. Well, all I have to say to you is fuck your fake ass neutrality. That's right. You heard that correctly. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got that right. Because, and I'm going to explain why here, okay? See, the concept of neutrality itself is very valuable because it refers to how we are able to perceive things beyond just the confines of this dichotomous yin yang, light dark, dualistic nature 3D. Okay? This 3D physical reality has that dual nature to it, and often it's hard for us to see beyond that. And with this concept of neutrality, it is asking us to be able to adopt a perception from a higher perspective, what some people might call 5D or higher perspective, in which you are able to see all experience as ultimately being helpful to our development and our unfoldment and evolution, spiritual evolution, right? And yeah, this is the case. Neutrality is, in fact, um, a very valuable exercise for us, to take on and to endeavor, to be able to see how all experience, including the experience that from this 3D perspective, we tend to label or categorize as either bad or good or negative or positive. Ultimately, from a higher perspective, we can see much more clearly that ultimately it's all going to help us grow and develop, right? Yes, this is true. This is correct. However, there are those who have taken this concept of neutrality and uh, just used it to justify looking away or not wanting to look at the things that are not working in this world or going wrong in this world, or the injustices or horrific things or horrific events, when things, bad things happen out there, um, or when things do bad things, when people do bad things to others or to the planet. Yeah, basically we, you know, I've seen it. I'm seeing it more and more and more that people with some of the newer concepts that are being explored in spirituality, and running away with them in a very wrong direction. That was not the direction that was intended. Okay, so let me explain why. Okay. You know what? Let me take an example. Yeah, let me take an example to illustrate what I'm trying to explain here. When I was living at the Buddhist monastery last year, I had the good fortune of being exposed to somebody, a character in history whom I had never heard of, and quite frankly, she's very underrated. She needs to be named and celebrated more and honored more often because she was quite exceptional. But if you've never heard of Peace Pilgrim, she was an amazing woman who walked over 25,000 miles in the name of peace. Yeah. And what I want to talk about with Peace Pilgrim is the fact that in her experiences, she was once attacked by a man who proceeded to beat her within inches of her life and left her for dead. Now, Peace Pilgrim explains in her writings that as this man was beating her to a bloody pulp, as he was doing this, she actually had the wherewithal and the wisdom to be able to think ahead and see how in the future she was going to, like, she saw how this was going to be a pivotal moment for her that she knew she would be greatly affected by, and she knew that it would be an opportunity, a tremendous opportunity for her to grow from. And as he was beating her, she says that she remembers expressing gratitude, not out loud to him, but thinking how grateful she was that this man was willingly taking on that amount of karma, of quote unquote negative karma, difficult karma that he would then have to work through later on. But she actually processed it as it was occurring in this manner. She felt sorry for her attacker for how much karma he was taking on in the process of attacking her. Think about that. Think about the level of compassion and wisdom it takes to be able to feel these kinds of feelings for your attacker. Think about it. And yet, so if anybody is bonded with this concept of neutrality and understanding and being able to perceive events unfolding in this 3D reality as all ultimately being helpful, and therefore being grateful for all of it, the good, the bad, the tragic. It's important to be able to hold that level of awareness and to be able to perceive from all those dimensions and those perspectives. However, if Peace Pilgrim had been able to stop this man when he was attacking her, of course she would have, and of course she should have. Okay? Okay? Just because um, I can perceive that, Hitler's existence was helpful ultimately in the unfoldment of humanity and for humanity, to spur humanity to develop so that we would grow from that experience as a species and learn that we don't want to ever have that happen and occur in our history again. That was a point of growth for us as a species on this planet, for us to learn that that's not what we want. in our field of experience. It was helpful, as it happened, as it already occurred. But now that it has occurred, we don't want it to happen again. And if it were to start happening again, we would certainly do something to try and stop it. Okay. So, that's just point one. Okay. One of the biggest issues that I've just had, with hearing people say that, okay, if I bring up, oh, what about this injustice going on in this part of the world, and that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing some, newer spiritual thought people, people holding these newer spiritual thoughts, expressing that, oh, don't bring that up, that's of a low vibration, you can't be talking about that, we cannot be turning our attention to low vibratory things going on like that, because that'll only make those experiences grow. What you focus your attention on grows. However, if you focus your attention on something that is going on that needs to be changed, you can focus on your attention on it to help create that change. And then what the whole experience, you're doing it for more helpful reasons that will help the experience become a more helpful experience. And it will be experienced as a positive experience from this 3D perspective rather than a negative one. Okay. So, and that's, I mean, what do you want? What do you want to experience? Would you prefer to invite, more negative or more positive things into your field of experience? Um, you know, so basically, I like to tell these individuals who say this to me, like, if you try to talk about hunger going on in some part of the world, or um, you know the wildfires going on in this area, or some flooding, or now these communities need our help, or all these people don't have access to clean water, and these people will tell you, "Oh, no, don't bring that up. Don't. That's of a low vibration. I don't want to, And some of them will actually try to silence you, like in public forums, in social platforms. So it's just incredible to me how twisted this concept of neutrality is becoming, and that's crazy. But one of the one of the best reactions that I keep seeing from these individuals is when I ask this question. I like to, people who say these things. Oh, no, you got to stay neutral. You got to stay neutral. That's bad. Don't focus on things of a low vibration. A low frequency. You have to, turn your focus elsewhere. Well, I like to ask these people, if you were walking home, for example, and you happen to come across a scene where somebody is being attacked and is about to be raped, for example, not to be crude, or not to be, but this is important, if you see something like that taking place, which could very well happen, okay, you come across a scene like that where there's a woman or a man being raped, about to be raped, let's say. What are you going to do? Stay neutral? What is staying neutral look like to you when you come across a scene that is of a low vibration like that? What does staying neutral mean exactly? Because let me tell you something. As my boy likes to say, Howard Zinn, And if you're not familiar with Howard Zinn's work, oh my gosh, yeah, you need to go read yourself some Howard Zinn, okay? Uh, yeah, because one of his best works is called "You Can't Be Neutral on a Moving Train," and that's exactly what I'm trying to illustrate for these people when I ask them about, like, this this analogy. When I make this analogy, if you come across a scene like that, what do you do? You can't be neutral on a moving train, because in that scenario, staying neutral is a choice. Think about it. Staying neutral, choosing to stay neutral in the face of injustice, what you call neutral, is nothing more than looking away from injustice, is a choice. Don't think that it's not. You're not wanting to see what choice that is that you're making. So let's be clear about that. Okay? So yeah, I mean, I don't want to, go on any further about this. I think I've said all there is, to say on this video about this disturbing new trend that I just keep seeing, in these spiritual people and communities that are, I've seen them echoing this concept. Like, no, you don't talk about all the people dying in this part of Africa because of this thing that happened. No, you can't, or this lack of resource in this part of the world, or no, you can't talk about that, can't bring it up, because we must stay neutral. Well, not only do I say, fuck your fake ass neutrality, I'm going to have to say, you know what? You need to rethink your choice in the usage of the word neutrality, because I don't think we're talking about the same thing. Because what you're doing when you look away from injustice, it's something, but it's not neutrality. On that note, I hope that's giving you something to think about, and hopefully shed some light on the distinction between the actual concept of neutrality and being able to see things from a neutral perspective, versus using the concept of neutrality to justify inaction in the face of injustice, which is the last thing we need more of on this planet, if you catch my drift. Okay, so anyhow, I think that's enough on that topic. And feel free to give me your thoughts and tell me what you think about it. But yeah, I love you. I do love you. I love you all. And I send you much love from my heart, as always, with a capital H, my heart with a capital H, and ask that you look into your heart with a capital H when you think about what neutrality really refers to and really means. Okay? Stay lovely, stay light, and much love, light, and peace to you all. Till next time.